Okay, so our next session is actually something that you would really want to keep your eyes peeled. All right, because we have speaker hailing from Singapore. Eddy has experience as an assistant manager at a Japanese MNC for over 11 years. And he has been developing and selling value-added products and services in the quality control and design applications industry. Now, at Creaform Incorporation as a regional regional manager, he will shed a light on how to accelerate your time to market with 3D scanning. So Eddy, are you with us right now?
Hi guys, yes, I'm with you.
Yep.
Let me just
All right. Hi.
turn on my camera.
Yep, so I'll just pass you the presenter mode. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. All right. Yeah. All right. Good morning, Eddy. How are you feeling today?
Feeling good. Yeah.
Good. All right.
Just to confirm, are you guys looking at my screen now? Is my screen up?
Yes, we are, but we are actually looking at the presenter view right now.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, no worries. We all understand.
How about this one? See the same?
Still, hold on, yeah. Still not yet. Perhaps you can show the other screen. All right, we see both screen right now.
Like that.
I think what you can do is you can actually show just the your first screen right now. I think that would be okay.
Sorry guys, I got to get this right.
Yep. All right, we've got it.
You got the main screen now?
Yeah, we got the main screen right now. Yeah. No worries. We all understand this. All right. Yeah. So I'll just leave it to you, Eddy.
Okay, good.
All right.
Hello guys, sorry for the delay. I hope everybody have a good virtual event so far. So first of all, I would like to thank JJ and the rest of the team at CADVision Systems for giving me the opportunity to be part of the SolidWorks 3D Experience Week. All right, so basically I'm here to share with you more about my topic on 3D scanning. But before I start off with my presentation, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Creaform and get everyone introduced to the company. All right, basically Creaform is a Canadian-based company located in Lévis, Quebec. Everything is done within Canada, mainly from R&D, manufacturing, all the way to sales and support of our clients. What we have here is a global footprint all over the world with 16 offices spread across 13 countries. So from there, our facilities are well placed to serve all our clients. A very quick introduction about our history. We started off as a small engineering company 17 years ago, and our very first product that was developed and introduced was the HandyScan. This was a portable scanning device. Ever since we started off with this technology, Creaform has never stopped innovating. We have done numerous events with more than 30 over product launches for metrology equipment as well as for software products. So let's define what is 3D scanning. 3D scanning is the process of analyzing a physical object simply by collecting data of the shape, geometry, and texture. The collected data can then be used to construct a digital 3D model, which can be represented by a point cloud or triangular mesh. And all these acquisition or extrapolation are done using optical sensors and then all reconstructed to build the 3D model that we need for further processing. So one question comes, how can 3D scanning help to get you guys through all the product lifecycle management without delay in order to accelerate the time to market? Well, this seminar aims to answer this question and demonstrate how 3D scanning helps to overcome major challenges in order to launch new product more efficiently. So we will review the 4 phases of product lifecycle management. We will see what 3D scanning can improve and simplify work. And we will also illustrate the benefits of using 3D scanning with concrete examples. Let us start by reviewing what is product lifecycle management, or PLM, means. By definition, it is just a standard process of to organize ideas and guide actions used to develop new product. There are a couple of versions of PLM, but let's take this simple example, a very general one. Concept, design, manufacturing, and servicing. Let's see how 3D scanning can help each of these steps. First step, concept. This is the beginning of the development of a new product. This is where we generate new and crazy concepts. Very important step because you define the requirements and specification of the future product. Designers, engineers will create mockups or drawings. Typically, they will make changes until the style is right and requirements satisfy the development team. At this stage, they mostly validate the look and feel of the product. During the concept, 3D scanning is very useful to perform the environment and competitive product analysis. It is always good, a good idea to analyze competitive products and evaluate how they could be improved. The environment of the object can also be critical. For example, if you need melting points or clearance information, this information provided by a 3D scanner enables designers to start with reliable measurements that they can trust. With 3D scanning, you can take any physical object and bring it into any CAD environment to help modeling or to optimize the concept. This can be very useful to reduce the number of changes, iterations when improving the ergonomics or conception. Once the proof of concept is completed, the next step is your design. The design phase is where you want to get as close as possible to the real product. It is time for designers to get their first fully functional prototype. With the real prototype on hand, engineers can validate if the engineering is functional, if the components fit and assemble correctly, and if it really meets all the requirements. It is also during the design that simulations such as finite element analysis, FEA, are performed to optimize the design. Same as the concept phase, the design phase generally runs in a loop to get better and better product. During the design phase, 3D scanning is essential to keep the CAD file up to date after making modification on physical prototype. The 3D scanner can be used for quick verification or inspection of the prototype itself. Once complete satisfaction has been reached, it is time to move on to the next phase. We look at manufacturing. This is where units are produced. At this stage, production create the tooling such as dies, molds, fixtures, or even jigs to manufacture the parts. Once the tooling is validated, the first article inspection is performed. The quality control team will measure, will control, and document critical features to ensure a constant production quality. During the manufacturing, 3D scanning is very useful to design suitable toolings. It allows effective validation of the tooling and can also help to keep the CAD file up to date. As soon as the first unit is produced, 3D scanning is used to inspect and control the quality of production by comparing the scan data with the CAD model. Since it can be used directly on the production floor, it can detect manufacturing problems quickly. If defects are detected, they can correct the tooling according to the measurement extracted by the 3D scanner. Now, we've reached the final phase of the PLM, the servicing phase. This is where the units come to life and end. For mass production that stretch over several years, as you know, tooling equipment might wear. For instance, it might be needed to document how molds wear out in order to maintain them. In some cases, it will be necessary to repair or replace components to maintain the production. So where can 3D scanning help during servicing? 3D scanning allows engineers to document precisely how the tooling wears out and help to make decisions to maintain the quality of the production setup. In case of production issues, the scan data will help to determine where to make corrections. Finally, if a system is made of old parts that can no longer be found on the market, 3D scanning is very useful to scan the last available part in order to get the dimension, redo the CAD model, and manufacture the part again. As you know, the challenges that development team face are important. They must continuously innovate in order to deal with growing competition. Designers, engineers have to deal with more complex parts, but still have to deliver product faster than before. So yes, 3D scanning can definitely help them during different tasks, but it also makes their work more enjoyable and efficient. Now, let me illustrate the benefits of using 3D scanning with concrete examples. Example number 1, quality control for high-performance sports motorcycles. The goal here is obviously to control the different parts of the motorcycle to make sure they are built correctly, but also to analyze the deviation of parts like the swing arms as the bike travels from one lap to the other. The challenges in building and testing high-performance sports motorcycles is that designers, engineers have to choose premium materials to produce different geometrical parts with high tolerances. Everything needs to fit together. Sports motorcycles must withstand extreme conditions and be pushed to their limits on the racetrack. As you might expect, the part parameters change and undergo deviation during a race. So the testing team must be able to measure this deviation directly on the racetrack and not only when the bike is parked at the factory or garage. Sports motorbikes are also made of many components, all with different sizes, geometries, and surface finishes. So the quality control team needs a metrology instrument for measuring a vast variety of parts accurately. In the motorsports environment, speed is proof of everything. Measurements must be obtained quickly in order to make decisions and draw conclusions. Therefore, the testing team needs a scanning solution that can measure the deviation directly on the racetrack and that they can provide them with accurate data as fast as the bike is racing. These challenges led the motorcycle company to choose or to opt for an accurate, fast, portable, and versatile 3D scanner. This way, the engineers could extend the high performance of their sports motorcycle while enhancing the overall experience for riders. Thanks to 3D scanners, the company could build more robust, faster, lighter sports motorcycles. Not only that, but the company now aims to become the world's biggest manufacturer of sports motorcycles. Example number 2, inspection for machining bevel castings. The goal here is really to reduce the cost of manufacturing castings by reducing scrap parts and material. The challenge in machining raw castings is that manufacturing companies must ensure that critical services are available and that there are enough materials for machining. Otherwise, they will produce castings that will not meet customers' requirements. Also, castings that present potential issues must be identified before they are sent out to the next operation within the manufacturing process and before investing more time and more money on them. Inspection of casting requires the acquisition of 3-dimensional parts on parts of various shapes, complexity potentially performed in any kind of environment. inspection process can sometimes be long, laborious, and the production costs associated with scraps are really very high and costly. These challenges push the manufacturing company to choose a portable, easy to use, fast, and of course versatile 3D scanner. Thanks to our scanners, the company could produce raw casting with enough material for machining process so that the final parts meet inspection standards. This way, the casting manufacturers could reduce the costs associated with scraps in order to produce parts of better quality while maintaining the overall inspection time. Example number 3, first article inspection, FAI, of new developed parts for the aerospace industry. The goal here is quite simple, doing complete FAI without delay the production too much. The challenges in performing first article inspection on new parts for new aerospace programs is really that FAI requires the complete inspection of parts prior to the start of the production. Therefore, the CMM must be accessible to measure and verify all part features. If it is unavailable due to bottlenecks generated by controls on less important features, it could impact the part quality as well as the production lead time. The more new parts there are, the more FAIs there are to execute, and the more CMM time, the more human resources to operate them. This must all be available, often in a short period of time. Performance criteria and tolerances are extremely tight in aerospace. Critical features must be controlled at the CMM, which must be programmed and handled by specialized workers. It's really a rare find in today's job market. From ribs, stringers to landing gears, or even engines, these aerospace parts are made of various shapes, various complex geometries, often with specialized finishes and treatments. These challenges make these aerospace leaders to redirect their less critical measurements onto a 3D scanning solution and kept only the critical dimensions for inspection on the CMM. This was a good decision. Why? Because the 3D scanner they chose is simpler to use than the CMM. So everybody can use it, not just a specialized worker. It has the capacity to measure various complex geometries and surface finishes. It is accurate enough for less critical dimensions. So by adding a 3D scanner to their metrology process, aerospace engineers could assign only delicate inspection of high tolerance features on the CMM, while all remaining controls, they could redirect or measure them with a 3D scanner. This action not only ensured product quality, but also accelerated FAIs with limited resources and stricter requirements. Now for my fourth example, well, this is really about how you can accelerate product development or time to market your product in this case. This is about a case at Scott Sports, founded in 1958. This manufacturer is based in Switzerland. They first invented the ski poles made of aluminum. Back then, many were made of bamboos or steel. It was really a smashing success for them. And since then, they started to produce many other sports gear goods, such as helmets, goggles, high performance products for biking and winter sports. Pretty much all you need as a sports wear company. So to do this, innovation is key, especially in the product development. It is always been an important aspect for them. So as we look at the challenges, their approach is simply no shortcuts, doing things the right way. The Scott Symbol 2 ski helmet features complex shape. So working with a clay model for them from scratch and transforming into a hand model takes a lot of time. Projects will never begin from scratch, according to their chief engineer. They always start with a base or some concept by hand. So there are bound to be many changes and modification. The biggest challenge was to get the proportion right, because this is where the engineers are spending most of their time. refining all the small elements like the surface, the shape, and the geometries that are all required to truly make a difference in fit and comfort. Over the last few years, manufacturing and engineering professionals have seen their quality standards rise and their need change. They now work with more complex parts with freeform shapes that needs to be measured and controlled. The time to perform those measurements and quality controls were also under pressure. It must be optimized in order to prevent downtime and then streamline the development of new products. As you know, if the designers make changes during concept or design phase, that will slow down the outcome. But when adding 3D scanning as an input device, it speeds up the whole entire process and reduce the number of iterations. This is because a 3D scanner can give them critical information quickly to take clear decisions during all of their PLM phase. Also, when designing the first prototype, companies always start with a physical model first in order to hold it and then try it, as the physical part is often different from their CAD design. First, the designers will make adjustments, change style lines directly on the prototype until the perfect design is found. The challenge here is how to bring this modification back to the CAD model. This can be pretty challenging for them, especially when dealing with a complex part with small details or elements like on a helmet or the ski liner. The other challenge is to analyze what the market is already offering to ensure that the next design is even better. Again, how can this information be brought back to their designers and ultimately optimize the final design? Well, the analysis can be done quickly by converting the samples to digital models that are available to their designers and engineers anytime and anywhere. That helps the company really save a lot of money by eliminating the need for longer measurement sessions and modification to the CAD file. Finally, to wrap up this presentation, it is important to know that Creaform is not just a metrology specialist. We are also a technology leader backed by over a decade of research and development in the 3D scanning field. We always aim to tackle new markets and help designers, engineers, and even artists who are looking for a capable piece of equipment or solution with us. So thank you all for your time today. Let's take some of your questions.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much, Eddy. Looking at the questions panel, we do have one question right here. So the question is from Galun Chiu. All right. And the question is, how can 3D scan capture wear parts? Wearing is in between two materials, which is not visible unless it is disassembled.
I see. Well, just to let you know how the 3D works again. Basically, scanners works like your eyes. It shoots up a light source. It can be a laser source. It can be a white projector LED source. All right. So basically, if you have two parts or two materials, if there's a deep groove inside that you cannot see, you can't access that, basically you will not scan the part. Basically, scanning is about what you see and what you get kind of relation.
So in this case, I assume that these material will need to be disassembled first for the accurate scanning to happen.
If it can be disassembled, or sometimes we have parts that is complex. Sometimes we ask the customer, can we slice it up and we can scan the internal portion. Yeah,
Mid
because
portion.
it's basically it's taking surface information. We are not we are not doing kind of like the X-ray, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we have another question from Zeng Kun Chua. All right. So
Okay.
how accurate the scanning can achieve? So what is the
Oh,
achievement accuracy rate? Yeah. And also
same thing
is
when
the part scanned will be treated as a solid body in a CAD format?
okay. First, to
Hmm.
answer the first question,
Yep.
depending on the models they're choosing, like for example, you're shopping for the latest iPhone, specs wise, it's really different. And we have the entry level kind up to the professional grade type. There's the accuracy difference, of course. If you invest on the performance, the metrology grade scanners, you can get up to like 25 microns accuracy, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. The next question. Sorry, can you repeat that question?
Yeah. The next
The
question
second
is,
one was
yeah, is the part scanned will be treated as a solid body in a
okay.
CAD format?
Yeah. First of all, when a part is scanned by a 3D scanner, you will get a mesh file. What is a mesh file? Basically, it's a lot of triangles joining each other together. So usually, this mesh file is in it's file format like the STL format, right? So basically, if you want to bridge it across to your a CAD environment like SolidWorks, you require a bridging software to we call it the reverse engineering technique. All right, so
Mm.
you have to extract information from the scan data first. So you got to massage all this information first, then you can port it over to your CAD environment or your CAD software. All right. If you don't do that, just by importing the STL or the scan file, it's basically a dummy model within your CAD environment. All right.
Mm.
You can't edit them. You cannot change them. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Right.
So the transitional software will actually be able to map out some details of the STL file. Am I right? So, right? Yeah,
Yes.
to get the dimensions. And then when we have that file and we pass it over to a CAD environment like SolidWorks,
Correct.
then we'll be able to edit it accordingly as well
That's
and
right.
more
That's right.
flexibility. All right, good. Yeah. So because there is also a follow-up question from Yok Sam Tan, right? Tan Yok Sam. Sorry
Mhm.
if I'm butchering your name, sorry. Yeah, but he or she mentioned that is this part scanned CAD file features able to be edited. So I think we have also addressed that concern as well with the transition software. Yeah, so from there and then only passing it over to a CAD environment like SolidWorks. All right.
Yes.
So we also have another question by Mr. Melvin Lim. All right. So he was away from his desk for a while, so he might have missed some details in the middle. But his question is the 3D scanner eventually creating the mesh profile surface? How can we transform it to editable model? Oh, okay. Actually, I think this question has also been answered
Yes.
with the previous question as well.
You
All right.
you need a bridging software. Yeah. Then
A
you
bridging
can bridge it over.
software. All right. Yeah. All right. There's also one question from Mohammed Faiz. Can SolidWorks 2021 edit mesh directly? All right. Yeah. So for this one, the mesh will actually needs to go through the bridging software to make it a surface so that SolidWorks can actually edit it more freely. All right, so I hope Muhammad Faiz has that question answered. All right, we still have questions coming in. So this is from Garland Chu. All right,
Mhm.
and 3D scanning has been around for 2 decades. What edge does Creaform have with its latest scanner over the rest? Okay, interesting.
Interesting. First, I want to touch base about our history first. Creaform actually started off as a three-man team. Basically, what is so exciting about Creaform technology is because we are the pioneers of developing portable 3D laser scanners. All right, I've been in this industry for close to almost 20, going to be. I started off selling rigid, we call it a tripod mounted kind of scanner, a 3D scanner. So back then, those were really exciting products. 3D scanners are really exciting. But as technology evolved, Creaform have identified the need to improve the ease of use, portability. So we have nailed that, all right? Until in 2012, that's where the 3D scanning market consolidated. A lot of people are buying or each other, and then Creaform was acquired by Eddy, all right? So yeah, so basically what Creaform can offer is that, yep, JJ.
Yeah, sorry, we actually lost your audio a little bit in the middle there.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
after you mentioned about the tripod scanning as the starter, and then how 3D scanners were a big hit, or were very exciting feature back at that time. Yeah, and then in the middle, I think we
Oh,
actually lost you for a bit. So sorry about that. Maybe perhaps you can repeat
oh.
a little bit.
What I want to say is that the market has really evolved. There's a need for people because people are trying to get more user-friendly tool, more portable, more flexible kind of tool to go about to start the scan. All right, back then in the past, there was no portable scanning device. Back then the scanners are really very rigid. You have to set it up on a tripod, on the table, etc. All right. So what Creaform has to offer is that we always maintain these three core values, like ease of use, the portability, and the versatility. We want to make it so enjoyable for our customers to use it. Enjoyable means that when you turn on your computer, hook it up with your scanner, you can pop up the software and you can start scanning. And you don't have to worry about the long setting up time. Do I really know how to operate the software? What can I do with the scanner, and etc. A lot of these common issues that users might ask. Yeah. So yeah, basically that's the answer. I hope I answered that. Mm.
All right, yep, thanks, Eddie. All right, the next question we have is from Akil Adam Ng. All right,
Okay.
so is there any product that is able to address the first question? So the first question where we were talking about the 3D scanner with the ability to penetrate depth without disassembly. Yeah, maybe a CT scanner. Yeah, this is the question. Interesting as well.
Yes, a lot of times 3D scanners, different model, different maker, different manufacturer, uh, or even to the end users, they will access how deep you can scan. Like
Hmm. Sorry, I think uh, we've lost the audio a bit. Yeah, probably some connection issues.
lose
Um,
connection.
yeah, okay, we can hear you right now. Yeah, we lost you
Okay,
a little bit back then as well.
yeah, sorry about
Mm.
that.
Yeah, so
Okay,
you were
so
mentioning about the different requirements of the customers, of the depth.
yeah, different requirements. So there's many types of scanners that can acquire deeper holes or grooves. We call this the depth of field, or maybe some others says how deep you can scan. All right. So a lot of things the end users would like to see is that oh, they want to scan very deep holes, but eventually you it depends on your opening. Like for example, if you have a small opening of the hole, you might not be able to capture much of the depth area. So that's why you might want to consider CT scans, but CT scans is a kind of like a different kind of investment. Yeah.
Mm,
So it can really do you know, the internal, or maybe you can use the ultrasound, you know, to measure those kind of parts. But what I want to say is that 3D scanners is really for surface scans. All right, it can go some depth depending on how good is the laser or the brand of the scanner. Some eventually claim that they can scan a very deep hole sizes, things like that. But that one you have to really evaluate the scanner when it decides to buy it. Yeah.
mm, mm. All right. I think we have just another two more questions. The first one would be, what is the maximum resolution of the scanning in terms of microns?
Well, again, there's a few different models we offer from Creaform. Resolution-wise, there can be two different things as well. Are you saying the resolutions of on your screen or on your mesh resolution, or the resolution of the device, you know, that you are measuring? All right.
Mm,
Sometimes people might want to say, it's my mesh resolution. Then again, I can tell you that our high performance scanner, for example, you can measure off like 0.1 mm. All right. How to measure this? How do we say 0.1? It's basically the triangle mesh that forms your 3D model. All right. So we can measure off like the 0.1 size of the triangle.
the mesh size. All right,
Yeah, we
understand.
call it the mesh resolutions. Yeah,
Okay, okay, understand. Yeah,
0.1 mm.
and yeah, a last question here. This may be quite an open-ended question. So, what is or what are the limitations of the scanner?
There's a lot, to be honest with you, limitations.
Yeah.
One very common limitations is that you cannot scan transparent stuff because the light passes through and doesn't come back. So basically, you cannot scan any glass materials, right? The other thing is the other limitation that I can think of right now is scanning your hair. You know, our hair is really fine. You know, um,
Yep.
so these fine details are. I think my hair is less than 0.1 mm. So basically, at this resolution, I don't think the scanner is able to pick up. Right. So hair size is like I don't know, 1 micron size or 5 micron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
too fine to scan. Yeah. Right.
I
So
see. I see.
basically, in order to scan an object, make sure it has to be opaque. That means there's color, there's you can see it, you know. But along the years, our scanners we have improved the technology. We are able to scan black surfaces, machine parts like shiny chrome parts. Talking about
Mm,
chrome, um, there's another material that we can't. Sometimes people ask, can we scan mirror finishes? Mirror finishes is really challenging as well. Probably you might be able to scan it, but the quality of the scan coming back from the scanner to your computer there might be a lot of unwanted noise. It's not clean at all. So all these information are not really good for your stuff, right? So some limitation on scanning that kind of material.
Okay, understand. Yeah. We actually do have a follow-up question from there, which I believe have already been addressed as well. Yeah, so this is by Kama Shafiq. Yeah, what if we paint the glass with opaque paint and scan? Yeah, so I believe that would actually allow the 3D scanner to be able to scan it. Yeah, like what you've mentioned earlier on with the opaque paint, like black or whatnot. All right. And okay, we have one last question. I think we have to take this as the last question now. Yeah, we don't want to drag this too long, right? Okay. So what is the cost and warranty for this 3D module? Okay, so for Elamaran Nagandran, right? Yeah, I think what we can do is perhaps maybe Eddy can actually address this to you personally. Right? Or you can actually, yeah, so all right, I think that would conclude our Q&A session as well. Thank you so much for all the questions. Yeah, I think this session was really quite informative, right? Yeah. So thank you so much, Eddy, for joining us today. Yeah. So here I'm just going to share some of the contacts. Yeah, the contact details of Eddy right here. Okay, you can actually reach out to him via email or via the phone number below. All right, so eddy.leok@aimtech.com. All right, and yeah, so you guys can actually just do a quick screenshot, or you guys can just quickly note it down, or just take a quick picture on it, and yeah, you can actually contact him directly as well. All right, yep. So thank you so much, Eddy. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and this will actually conclude our session for this morning.